I'm glad to be here. I think it's the end time, and I know Beng seemed to introduce me in a very technical manner. You put a lot of those statistics behind me, so I think some of the people might be afraid to listen more about what these stuffs are. But so far, if you look at the previous speakers this morning, they've talked about the strategies, the tools. Brian talked about the different concepts. I'd like to talk about them from a different side, which is my favorite. I've always told people, I saw many familiar faces here, that I somewhat shifted from what used to be a very mathematical, rigid, rational person to somewhat irrational person. And I've become more of a social scientist than an engineer. And that perspective allowed me to understand why change is often difficult if you're an engineer. And what I wanted to share with you are the same tools that probably some of the speakers have said this morning, but I wanted to give it to you in a more personal flavor, and I hope you can actually find as well the motivation why you want to use such tools. So I'm sure someone in one of the companies in the Philippines or outside of the Philippines is doing something that's not really desirable for a company or for any organization. Something like this. Now, I tend to borrow a lot of pictures from the internet, and just to make sure that I don't get sued, these are not my own, so I'm just borrowing them. And if you can see the picture here, now it's often common, and surprisingly, we accept them, that fixing things in any company is somewhat necessary and unavoidable. And until you get to the point that it becomes irritating and costly and painful, that's the time you get to complain it. And oftentimes it takes someone who can really complain really well to be able to say that's unacceptable. Okay? And if you get to that point where you complain and say it's unacceptable, illogical, why you continue to accept that, then you begin to wonder, is there anything we can do about it? And here comes Lean and Six Sigma, which I think a lot of you have heard of, and many here are doing it, practicing it, and still it's not something we can easily adapt to. It's more than just a tool. And the purpose of having these Lean and Six Sigma concepts together is really to find out exactly why do we persist on doing such things. And obviously, the concept is actually to let it come out, to make it transparent, to let it be seen, exactly what's happening. And that's what is the aim of what this Lean and Six Sigma is all about.